Hey, welcome back. In this episode, I'm going to teach you how to buy land that is not for sale. So you might be one of those people that you have a house or you have a piece of land and you're looking at the landowner next door, you're looking at the land next door and you're like, how in the world do I buy this? Or, I'm thinking about getting into the land business and how in the world do I find the best discounts? This video is for you. Hey, my name is Brent Bowers, and I've done over 259 land deals. I have over 100 notes, land notes paying me every single month. I am the expert in this field, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to buy things that aren't even there, how to structure this, and stick around to the very end, and I'll tell you how I made $27,000 on a piece of land that wasn't even for sale. How in the world do you buy land that's not even for sale? This is how I've made my living over the last 6 years. This might sound a little scary or almost like private detective or a private investigator. I pretty much am. I've made my living over the last 6 years by buying things that weren't for sale. I was in the military. I was always gone. I was always away. I was always training. I was always deployed. Never got to see my family. I had an income goal. I needed to make $6,000 to $9,000 a month to be able to get out of the military. I had to leave this 9-to-5 job. I wish it was 9-to-5. I almost had my shackles, but I would be on base at 6 a.m. and not leave till like 7 p.m. So I needed to start a business that allowed me time freedom, financial freedom, and geography freedom. I wanted to kind of regain time. I wanted to get my time back because over the 8.5 years that I was in the military, I was only home about 4. But let's get back to the subject of how to buy land that's not for sale. So I'm going to teach you my techniques, my strategies of how to structure this. So my number one way to how to buy land for sale is, one, pick your playground. Pick the area you want to be investing in, the area that you're familiar with. I like to recommend a 2-hour radius where you're currently living right now. And I don't care where it's at in the world, as long as it's in the United States. I'm only talking about land in the United States. Let's just say you're out of the United States. Then you need to pick an area that you used to live or you used to be familiar with. And let's just say maybe you've never been to the United States. Well, pick an area, I would say somewhere in Colorado and Arizona. I gave you 3 different ways to pick your playground. Pick an area. So that's number 1. Number 2, we have to find a list of people that own land. And out of this list of people, we're going to try and find the most motivated, low-hanging, juicy fruit of people that want our services, that want to talk to us, that are motivated to sell this land at a massive discount, because this is the key, getting this land at a massive discount. There's hardly any competition in this. I would say there's virtually no competition, and I'll tell you the reason why. Most people have no clue how to make money with land, because you might be watching this video and you might have driven by land your entire life. You might not have ever looked at it as a way of making money, because there's no house on it, there's no storage units on it, there's no mobile home park on it, there's nothing you could rent out. Well, the way I make money with land is I get it at such a massive discount, and I'm talking like 20, 30, 40 cents on the dollar. I'm getting at such a cheap price, and I'm turning around and selling it to the masses at premium and retail values. A lot of times I have a waiting list for land and the way I can sell it at premium and retail values is because I have that waiting list. And because I have that waiting list, the reason why I have that waiting list is because I'm offering this land to them at a low down payment and an easy monthly payment. I'm offering the land and the financing, because Americans are thinking all the time is like, what is it going to cost me each month? Not what's the total price. So if I'm getting it over here at a maximum discount, and I'm selling it over here at a down payment and a monthly price, hopefully that down payment gets most of my purchase price back out of the deal. So I get to put that money back in my pocket and get my risk out of this deal, and I can repeat this multiple times, and I'm now creating a huge, huge passive income with it. All right, so back to the list, the people we want to communicate with, the landowners. Where in the world do we find the lowest hanging juicy fruit, like the people that want to give us a maximum discount? And before I give you that answer, I want to just tell you this. 99 out of 100 people are not going to want our services. They're not going to want to sell at a discount. They're not motivated. They don't need what you're selling. But that one person, that 1 out of 100, that 1% of people that need your help will be willing to sell at a maximum discount if you can solve their problem. And how do you do that? You listen with both your ears and you talk very little, because you want to hear what they're saying and figure out a way to overcome their challenge. Every morning that we wake up, we're going to be faced with challenges every day. So if you can help people solve their challenges, you're probably going to be paid very, very well for it. So out of this list that we're going to find, this list, I want people to be motivated sellers on it. This list is usually the tax delinquent list for me. This is the county tax delinquent list. So for every property that's in the United States, you have to pay taxes on this property. Land taxes, that pays our firefighters, our police officers, our infrastructure, our roads. If you don't pay your taxes, half the states will take your land from you, and the other half will just sell that land tax lien to someone else, and then they can take it from you. So that's kind of how it's broken down. So you must pay your taxes if you want to keep the land. And if you're not paying your taxes, that screams motivated seller, because if you're not paying that taxes, that means something else is taking priority. Maybe it's groceries, maybe it's your mortgage payment, maybe it's your car payment. That's completely understandable, and that's how we find the most motivated sellers. And then I'm going to take it to one more extreme. The person that's not paying their taxes and they live out of state. That's screaming even more motivation to me. So how do you find this list? You want to go to your county treasurer's office, and ask them for the tax delinquent list or the tax lien list. Let me tell you, you're going to meet a little resistance at this county treasurer's office. You want to be willing to talk to 5 people. You want to be willing to keep going until you get the answers you want. And most of the time they're going to say, hey, that list comes out in October, or that list comes out in September, or that list comes out here. You don't care about the list that's coming out. You want the current list, the list that just came out. You're not looking to pay the back taxes on people's land. You're not looking to be a tax lien investor. You're looking to find a seller that you can help and buy their land and get those taxes caught up before they lose it. So that's what you're looking for. You tell them that, hey, I'm a land investor. I'm looking to buy the land. I'm looking to pay the back taxes. That's what I do. I buy and I sell land. I'm not trying to buy the tax liens. I want last year's list. And they're going to ask you what you're going to do with it. Well, I just told you what you're going to do with it. I'm going to buy the land from these people. Okay, so you're probably going to have to talk to multiple people, and you're going to have to keep going. Don't quit on this. You might have to show up with coffee and donuts to get this list, but this is the most motivated people, the most, willing people to do business with you. So you might be thinking, Brent, I'm trying to buy land that's not for sale. Well, that's what I'm telling you. Most of the time when there's people on the tax delinquent list and they're out of state, they're not actively marketing their property. You don't see these things on Zillow. You're not seeing signs for this land because these people usually have their head in the sand. They think that someone's going to come in and save them, and you are that person. And it's happening. That's why this land's not for sale. They don't know it's for sale until they receive your letter. And that leads me into this. You got the list now. Now you want to send these people a letter saying, hey, I'd like to buy your land. If you're looking for a cash price and I'll handle everything, just give me a call if you'd be interested in selling your land. And that's the communication piece. You've got to communicate with these people. And when they call, you got to answer your phone. Don't send them the voicemail. Don't send them a text. Answer the phone and help these people out. Listen to their situation and figure out a way to buy their land at 20 or 30 cents on the dollar. That way you can get this asset that is not for sale. All right, so you're now gonna buy the land. You got this land at less than 50 cents on the dollar. What do I mean by that? Let's just say this is a $30,000 piece of land. It's worth $30,000. You're buying it for $13,999 and you gotta pay the back taxes of like $2,000. So you'll technically have almost $15,000 into this land. Well, it's worth $30,000 and you're buying it for $15,000. Buying an asset, the land is the asset, for 50 cents on the dollar. This is what pawn shops do. They literally give you, 50 cents on the dollar for that Rolex, and if you don't come back and pay it off, they're going to sell it to someone for 60 to 70 to 80 cents on the dollar and make the profit. That's where the profit comes from. That's why there's no competition in land, because no one knows how to get this land at a massive discount and then turn around and sell it to someone for an easy down payment and an easy monthly payment. And when you're offering the financing, you can almost pick the price that you want and then also charge interest. So you're making an amazing return. So how do you figure out what you want to make? Generally, if I'm going to spend $1, I like to make $3 back. So let's just do a quick example. If I'm going to spend $10,000 for a piece of land, I want to sell it for $30,000. If I'm going to spend $1,000 for a piece of land, I want to sell it for $3,000. That way, I 3x my money. And I didn't create this. I got this from Warren Buffett. He tries to make a 300% return. If Warren Buffett's smart enough to do it, I'm going to follow his lead because he's doing pretty well. All right, so I know you're getting tons of value out of this, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. You know, I come out with these videos 5 days a week. I'm always talking about land, how to buy it, how to sell it, how to do this, that, and the other. So definitely hit that subscribe button, and I've heard it brings good luck. All right, so let me tell you about a piece of land that I bought that was not for sale. So we actually was sending out postcards in this situation to people that were on the tax delinquent list that I told you about, that I got from the county treasurer's office. So I sent a letter to this guy. He owned 1.5 acres of commercial land right on the side of a highway in Colorado. But there was one catch. He was way behind on the taxes, like several $1,000s behind. And there was a commercial building on this piece of land that he told me there might be asbestos in it and we'd have to tear it down. Well, I told my acquisition manager, she's the one that helps me buy the land, I said, whatever you do, we're not buying this land. We're just going to get it under contract because I'm afraid of this asbestos thing. I'm very cautious about buying land with environmental issues or possible environmental issues. If we tear this building down, we're going to have an asbestos issue. So I said, do not buy it. Let's just get it under contract. And she got it under contract for free. Literally, we just had to pay that $3,000 in back taxes. So she got it under contract for pretty much like a penny. We had to put some price on the contract. So we put it on under contract for 1 penny, plus we pay the back taxes of almost $3,000. So what we did, we took this contract, we took a piece of paper that we had this property under contract for, and then we marketed it to our cash buyers list. We put it on Craigslist, we put it on Facebook, we started advertising this contract for $27,000. This thing got us way over $27,000. We got a purchase price of $27,000 plus the back taxes, and we ended up taking a piece of paper of a piece of land we got under contract that was not for sale and selling it to a cash buyer for a little over $30,000, and this gave us a net profit of $27,000 net profit on a piece of land that wasn't for sale, and we didn't even have to buy it. We just got it under contract. This is the power of land and buying things that aren't for sale. All right, so you might be thinking, holy cow, like my mind is blown. How in the world do I implement? How do I start? Where do I start? I will hold your hand throughout this entire process. You know, head over to thelandsharks.com. It's in the description below. Click on the link, schedule a call with my team, and we will walk you through. Check out your goals, what you're looking to do. If you're looking to be a land investor, head to thelandsharks.com.